How's it going, gamer? You got Hands here, and today in Dauntless we're going over two builds for Rezakiri Axe. One that features maximum critical strike with discipline and cunning, and one that still features discipline and cunning but has a little bit more damage versus having a percentage of getting a critical strike. These two builds are, in my opinion, the best builds for this axe, at least right now, so I really hope you're able to make them and kick some butt with them because it's really dope, especially the axe. It just looks so awesome. It's such a beautiful axe. And hey gamer, if you like this video and you want to see more, please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button and let your friends know what I got going on here. So check this out, turn on your system, grab your axe, and let's get ready because we're about to get in this video right now. How's it going, gamer? I'm super excited to show you these two builds that I have for Rezakiri Axe. So when it comes to critical strikes, it's really good, but the amount that we can reach, the maximum amount we can reach in Dauntless really isn't that significant. It's 25%, so therefore that's why you don't see a lot of people using critical strike builds unless it's in like shock escalation, which allows you to buff all those through the amps. It's still a really good build, but there's other better builds that have raw damage that's consistent, that's not versus off a percentage. But without me getting into my rant, I'm going to show you the two builds, one that has the maximum critical strike and one that has still cunning and discipline but a little more damage that's consistent. So let's get into this. First, you want to get the Edge of Dawn because it has a +3 cunning and its unique effect is plus 10% chance for attacks to hit twice, which is like a critical strike hit. So that has a +3 cunning. We're going to put an overpower cell in conditioning. Why conditioning? Because stamina is very important. You may have other options that you could use that work off of your play style, but for the best cell to use, I would choose conditioning. Next is Grim Onslaught because it is great. Don't forget to catch your axe because you kind of need to gain that meter, but yeah, it's pretty tough. And Volatile Axe Core for the maximum amount of damage. That's what we're going for here. And so also don't forget to they do AoE damage, and that's also important to maintain a consistent DPS. So for the headpiece, that's Shroud's headpiece. That has a +3 rage, and we're going to put a +3 discipline cell. For the chest piece, that's Rezakiri's chest piece. That has a +3 cunning, and we're going to put a conduit cell in there. And for the hands, that's Malcarion's grasps. That has a predator cell, and we're going to put another predator cell in there. And then for the feet, that's Volcanic Treads. That's Charog's feet. That has a rage cell, and we're going to put another discipline cell. So for the lantern, so we can have optimal damage, we're going to use Drask's Eye because the instant tap does 30 increased damage for 6 seconds, and the hold does some pretty good decent part damage as well. I would put a conduit cell. Also gamer, if you think you don't need the conduit attack speed buff, use Zeal for increased damage through Drask's Eye instant tap because Zeal's a new cell and it's really awesome. But unfortunately I don't have a +3, but still my opinion would be to use conduit for the increased attack speed. More attack speed, more DPS. Consistent DPS. For the tonics, if you can afford them, I would definitely suggest a Soul Tonic, Blitz Tonic, Frenzy Tonic. I mean, that's crazy increased attack speed, damage, it's amazing. So all in all, what we got is a +6 conduit. That gives us 15% increased attack speed to all slayers, including us. And our +6 conduit, +6 discipline. Cunning gives us a +10% critical strike chance with a +30 damage. So discipline gives us another 15%, which takes us to 25% critical strike chance. So that's good, but that's not too awesome. I really wish Dauntless would update these to have it a 50% critical strike chance, just so everybody uses it more, but I guess they don't want nothing to be OP. So for Predator, we have a 35% increased damage if we don't get hit for 15 seconds. In range, it's beautiful. That's 25% damage all the time because we're running a half health build. Conditioning, really great. That's +15 stamina regeneration, which is really good, believe it or not. And then overpower, a little bit more damage for the build. And this is because on this build we're trying to keep max cunning and discipline. And overpower, that's a 30% damage versus staggered behemoths. So for the second build, we're going to have +6 overpower and a little bit less cunning and discipline. So let's hop right into that. So it's very close to being the same build. We're going to use Steal the Edge of Dawn, and we're going to put an overpower and conditioning cell. Same special, same mod. For the headpiece, that's the same, that has a rage, and we're going to put another overpower cell in this one, so we can have a +6 overpower. And what's different here is Koshai's chest piece, that has a predator, and we're going to put a conduit cell. And then for the hands, that's Melcarion's Grasp, that has a predator, and we're going to put a Wild Frenzy. Wild Frenzy is really dope because we'll be increasing our attack speed because we're running a half health build. And remember, Wild Frenzy is not on the other build because we're having max cunning, so that takes away our technique cell. For the feet, that's Charles' feet that has rage in it, we're going to put a discipline cell in there. Same thing for the lantern. If you think it needs more attack speed, use Embermanes, but I like Dress because of the increased damage. And we're going to put a conduit cell in there. So all in all, for this build, we have a +6 conduit, which increases our attack speed for all Slayers and us. And we have a +6 overpower in this build as well, unlike the other one had 3. So that's 60% damage versus staggered behemoths. And then a predator is 35% damage if we don't get hit for 15 seconds. Rage is 25% damage all the time, baby. And then conditioning, which is really great, 15 stamina regeneration. And then this is the difference between our other build. We're still utilizing cunning and discipline, but more at a okay rate just to have it in case it happens type thing. But this is the best builds for this axe. If you're going against an Umbral behemoth and you like axes, this is where it's at. This build, you know. So this has a +3 cunning, which is a 4% critical strike chance, and discipline is 7.5 critical strike chance. And we really need discipline. Why? Because in-game builds utilize rage and wild frenzy for the consistent damage and attack speed. And then, like I just mentioned, wild frenzy, because we're at half health, we have a 12.5 increased attack speed all the time. And imagine that stacking with conduit. That's a 25% increased attack speed, or 7 increased attack speed. That's really good. So you can see the differences between these two builds. One has the max critical strike, and one still has the critical strike, but a more consistent damage buff. So it's to each his own. If you like the first build, do it. If you like the second build, do it. I suggest trying both out. But I really hope you enjoy these builds, and I hope you're able to make them, gamer. Alright, gamer, that's all I got for you today. Hey, I hope you're able to make these builds like I said, because dang, it's awesome. I love the noise this axe makes. I love the shiny, sparkly colors. It is pretty dope. And hey, I don't want to forget to mention, we're trying to start a Discord community so we can help our fellow like-minded gamers that are looking to help people no matter skill level. You can find us on the Discord server, HndsDwnThBest Dauntless, and it is case sensitive, so check it out in the description. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, please hit that subscribe button, mash that bell for notifications, and let your friends know, y'all. This is Hands signing out. Peace. It's been fun.